Hello! I just realized that I always start my commentaries with welcome to another audio commentary. I'm not sure why I do that. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. Anyways, this is a World Cyber Games match. This is actually the first match of the grand final, absolute final game of the World Cyber Games, Starcraft. If you don't want the previous matches ruined, you're going to stop watching right now. Um, as you can see, Stork here is the one of the contenders for the final match here. The other one that we saw just a moment ago is a player by the name of PJ. It's interesting. Stork and Hueson ended up battling each other in the semifinal, no, the quarterfinals, no, before that, the round of 8, I think. And so Stork took out Hueson, and so that was one of the 3 Koreans out, and Savior actually was beaten by PJ in the round of 8 as well, and so Stork is the only remaining Korean player left in the tournament right now, and this is the final game. So if PJ wins this match, Stork will take second, and that will mean that it will only be one Korean in the top 3, first of all. Usually it's all 3 places are Koreans. Anyways, and it'll be the first time ever that a non-Korean has won the World Cyber Games. By the way, to the game for a moment here, Stork is on the top part of the map. He's, I guess, what you would call 1 o'clock, maybe, and PJ is 2 o'clock. Very, very close. This map, sorry about that. This map is Paranoid Android, and Stork going for double gateways, by the way. It's a very interesting map because you have an expansion that's kind of right below a ramp, and it's not a protected expansion though, because even though it looks like it's protected, there's actually a back route to go around the rock outcropping and sneak up behind. And PJ is, by the way, from China, so you see a lot of Chinese fans there rooting for him. It was interesting when both players were coming out to their little battle cubicles. PJ came out with a big Chinese flag and was waving it all over the place. The Stork just walked out and he's like, "I'm Stork, peace." And so, anyways, it was kind of funny that Stork didn't need to hype himself up at all, being Stork and all. In any case, so this map is the secondaries are hard to hold because of that. There's an easy way to sneak around behind them, so all the real easy to protect secondaries or expansions are kind of farther away from your main base. It's kind of an interesting way of going about it. Yeah, so PJ actually trained in Korea for a while, from what I understand, and Stork just running his zealot past PJ's zealot there. PJ finally getting a second gateway. PJ kind of a little bit behind here because he only had that 1 gateway for a long time, finally getting a second gateway. Stork has had 2 gateways up almost since the beginning though, and he's able to pump out zealots. Really, PJ needs to have gotten his cybernetics core up right now. Oh, PJ actually inside. Oh no, it looks like PJ just made a pylon in Stork's base. That's what went on there. And so Stork was using one of his zealots to pick off that pylon. PJ really needed to have gotten his cybernetics core because he needed to get some dragoons so he could micro around and kill off the zealots. Because basically Stork is just pumping extra zealots into his base, and I'm not sure if that's another pylon on the top corner there. So Stork basically just picking off some probes here, putting a lot of pressure on. It looks like he only has the 1 zealot in PJ's base. Sorry, it's hard to tell because they're orange and yellow. They're almost the same color there, so it's hard to tell who's who in the little battles there. And Stork's zealot just kind of running around and distracting PJ in general. So it looks like Stork may have taken the pressure off and gone for tech. I didn't see it. It was only for a moment. And PJ getting his cybernetics core. I think, yeah, they're both getting their cybernetics cores right now. So it looks like PJ was actually able to basically fend Stork off with kind of a little zealot push there. And he realized that he wasn't doing as much harm as it should have, and he's just going back to his standard. Somehow PJ got a probe in there, maybe it was in there from before, and scouting around a little bit there. any case, so Stork, I'm gonna have to put a little bit ahead because he did get a couple zealots in there. Was able to kill off some of PJ's probes. But it's really hard to say because at the same time he did invest a lot of resources into going that, well, not a lot, but he invested some extra resources into getting that second gateway early on, and so he well, normally he wouldn't have been able to tech up as quickly, but you can see PJ is getting his cybernetics port exactly at the same time. Really kind of a neutral game at this point. PJ may have a few less probes and one or two less zealots, but in general, I wouldn't put him at a major disadvantage. Oh, and as I was saying, PJ trained in Korea for a long time, and as Tasteless said, for whatever reason, he just didn't like the scene and went back to China. He's on a pro Starcraft team in China. PJ getting his robotics facility there. I didn't see if Stork was getting one as well. Generally, you'll see Stork, especially in Protoss versus Protoss, getting early robotics facility, going for observers. PJ going for robotics support bay first, it looks like, instead of the observatory. Generally, you'll see Stork getting the observatory, and Stork going, running a probe round. He may be going for some kind of proxy, he may be going for a hidden expansion in the bottom corner there. Or maybe he might be going to plant something behind PJ's secondary. Like I said, okay, maybe he was just scouting that and trying to get around PJ's forces. I guess maybe he thought that PJ's forces would be out, and he would try to run in a probe. So that's what he was doing. He was trying to run in a probe to get a scout in, hoping that PJ's forces would be out, farther out. And so, yeah, Stork getting at that robotics facility as well. Stork, however, going for that